Hi guys, today I want to show you my live rig as I'm currently using it for backing tracks, in-ears and also my trigger. Okay, for explaining purposes I will start out. People who follow my channel know that I use the Zoom R8. I have two of them and I have modified my live version one. So this is my second Zoom. And as you can see, it has 8 faders, for who doesn't know, and a master fader, and it has this little switch which can be put to phones only or output and phones. And if you put this switch to this side and you use it as a live rig, you get a click track on the front of the house on the PA system, and that's the last thing you want. So it sends out what you hear on the monitor on your own ears and the sound on the backing tracks. Okay, so my live rig my live rig comes in this nice little case. I think that I have to turn the camera up a bit. Here we go. Like that, yes. Okay. Make it open. This is actually a guitar case sold at Thomann for pedalboard case. It's very nice because the underground you get some Velcro with it, and you can Velcro everything into place, which means that everything I have in here is fixed to the system. Okay, let's start out with the Zoom. And as you can see, it looks like I've totally maimed the thing, but that is not the case. All I did was I took off the little fader thingies, and then where the presets were as how I use it, I taped it in place. I took off the fader blocks, the little fader buttons. I stored them at a safe place, and everything is set up just the way I normally use it, with the 2 monitor channels that go to my in-ear on channel 3 and 4. They are a little bit less loud, and the headphones turned a little bit up. Okay, well, let's start by saying I don't use any power from an external power source. That means that I have this power bank here. I'll explain what this is later. I have this power bank here, and this operates everything that's on the board. It's not that much actually, but okay. So I hook in the USB number 1, USB number 2, and here's a button, and there you see it start working. Okay, I turn on the Zoom with the switch here, and you see it starts up. I have nothing externally connected, everything's in here. And you see now that my project that I normally use isn't loaded. Just a sec. Oh, it's a bit blown out, I see. That's too bad. I'm just telling you what I'm doing at the moment. I'm loading a project. Select. My project is called Total Monitor 10. Yeah, well, project needs to have a name, but who cares, right? Okay, it's a bit blown out. I'm sorry for that. I will put the camera a bit down, like that, so you can still see everything, but it's a bit more convenient. Okay, you see that the 2 red channels here. So let's start at the. Take this one out, explain later what this is. Okay, first things first, I labeled everything. So input 1 I got with the demo printer, I put on monitor in. This is purely for the sound guys, so they know where to plug it in. So here comes in microphone input, which I have to activate by pushing here. Then it gets sent to my monitor signals, which at this time they are mono. So my click track, I used to have my click track on channel 3 and 4 stereo, but yeah, well, I figured that if I make this one mono, I can pan it center, and that means that these two inputs don't go automatically to the left and the right. So that means you can put these over each other independently. That's why these are mono now. The backing track is still stereo. I'm getting the backing track stereo on my headphones. The only thing that is mono is my click track, and I really don't care. Okay, so here the monitor guy puts the microphone cable signal from the monitor desk or from the house desk if they do the monitors from there. And then you can say, well, I would like some guitars, and please give me a bit of vocals, maybe bass guitar. Samples and keyboards I don't need because I provide that for myself with this mix button, which I can mix in the backing track signal to my monitor signal. And what I've done, what's new is I bought a splitter cable, and now I split my trigger, which is this device. Later more about that. And the output is an XLR cable. That's also the sound module. It's a complete trigger and module and everything in one. It works with lasers. Maybe I'll do another chapter about that. But the XLR cable comes from here. Then it goes to my trigger in point. So here it goes in the cable. And then I have here one of the cables goes out to my input 2. So this is my trigger signal, which I can now put independently of the monitor signal. And the trigger out signal, it's just another microphone cable, and that goes to the venue, the sound guy. Okay, so that's new, so I split that up. The second thing is sometimes if you have a small venue and you can't get a decent monitor signal, or they don't have the possibilities, I bought myself some wireless guitar plugs, and all I need actually at this moment is from the band I'm playing in Martyr. I just need the lead guitar. I need his guitar signal because sometimes he starts playing a riff and I have to play accordingly. And if I don't hear right what he's playing, I can't. Sometimes I miss the cue. So I put this transmitter in his blue guitar amp 1 that has a headphone out. I hit it up there, and the other one I put here, and I give it monitor signal 1, like that. And now I've got his guitar signal coming in wirelessly. So this is a backup function. I also have in the power bank here, I have the loading cable to a double piece to hook these up. These work with a built-in battery. I use it in rehearsals. I haven't used it. I haven't have to use it live until now, but I think it won't be a problem. And since it's only for monitor purposes, well, and it would drop out, it doesn't matter. Okay, next thing is, of course, first these. These are the output that I use. They're also XLR because the Zoom R8 has like balanced outputs, so they have a 3-ring setup, 2-ring setup, but and it's balanced like XLR, but because most venues have problems with jack cables, you have to use the I boxes and everything, and you don't need those with this device. I just hook these things in and they can plug in the mic cables as so. This is the volume button for the left and right out. Then here I have a headphone adapter for my in-ears that are in this case. Maybe go a bit up. In this pouch, I have my custom-made in-ears with my iRock A8s. I will show them in a minute. And then next to that, we've got a power bank. It's a decent one, and with a, well, they say it's a 10,000 milliamperes. You know the drill. But actually, I can run this complete setup. I can run it maybe I have to recharge it once a month. So it's pretty decent because the Zoom doesn't use that much power, and this is just a little LED light, so it doesn't either. Okay, so next thing are these batteries. I have these are rechargeable batteries. The drum trigger is operated with one battery, so also this doesn't need any adapters or anything. And like I said, this is also the sound module. It works with Bluetooth, and you can connect it to your phone and then upload your own samples and your own sounds, but it comes with a set of stock sounds. It has 2 lasers on it. Maybe I should just switch it on. Just a sec. Power. Look, see the lasers? And you have stickers on the top of your beaters, and the reflection, it's like a speeding cop with a laser gun, you know? It just detects that it goes past it and how fast it goes, so it's also sensitive. It has dynamics, velocity, I don't know how do you say in English, dynamics or velocity, but you can play softer and louder with the trigger. But you need a battery to operate it, and one battery lasts about 10 hours. So I always have this case, and in number 1, and this is the second battery I use now. When I'm at the 3rd battery, or maybe the 4th, maybe I'm lazy, but I take them home and I recharge them. And in the future, I think I'm gonna get exactly the same box, also with Velcro on the downside, and I just keep that at home, fully charged, and then just switch them out. So, then here we have the power bank, and here we have a little USB hub. That's all it is. Just plug it into there, and then I have 4 USB connections. One I use is the little light. And I use this because sometimes on stage it's dark, and I do have lighted play stop buttons, but I don't have lights on the fast forward to the next one, which I need to go to the next song. So I always have light on the stage. Okay, then here you have the 2 wireless. Then here I have a little wooden box with some extra peripherals, like another headphone adapter, and 2 more of these little jack to XLRs. And then I have a jack to a jack to extend some stuff, and another hairband. You never know when that gets handy. Normally I also have a drum key in there, but it's now on location because I'm currently in recording process for songs for the new Martyr album. Okay. The last thing, and then you see everything's Velcro. You see everything's Velcroed up. These are my in-ears. And I use a hybrid system. I have these in-ears made, these molds made, and they cost me about €100. And for my headphones, I just, one of the sleeves, I put them in the envelope and I said, listen, make me a hole in here that goes through to the earpiece that is exactly the same size as this. And then I had to, with a little file or a Dremel, I had to make it a little bit rough and make like a little hook on it. and now they stay put, and I have been using them for almost 2 years now, and they're absolutely brilliant. They're really good isolating. First, I just thought about doing this to try it out and then get the expensive professional ones with the built-in drivers, but actually I'm very happy with these, and as long as these work, I won't be buying the professional ones because they sound awesome and they isolate really brilliantly. I also have special isolating headphones and stuff like that. I also did a video about that, and they're good, but the thing that always gets through is the bass guitar, and the thing is standing next to me, and he has to have this sound, I understand, but well, it can interfere because it makes me want to put my monitoring louder than that is good for my ears. And with these custom-made molds, it just doesn't only block out the highs and the mids, but also the bass. So I can put everything on a volume that is really relaxed and comfortable. Okay, well, that's the whole setup as I'm using it now. And if you have any questions or anything, just drop me a comment. Okay, this is Rick signing off.